Good morning, evening, or night. I'm Caleb Myhill, and hope you had a fantastic weekend, and you're looking forward to a fantastic week this week. Just a couple of reminders for you that this week, June 25th, is graduation. Also, be sure to double-check this schedule for review classes, finals, and Regents exams. And finally, be sure to take your time and do your best on these finals and Regents exams. Oh, and Dr. Catania has a message for you, so let's go take a look at that.
Hi, Blue Bombers. Summer's here, and so I want to congratulate each and every one of you for completing this year, and I send you my best wishes for a wonderful summer vacation. But first, to the class of 2021, congratulations. We are incredibly proud of you. Best wishes to all of you in the future. So there's no need for me to go on about how this has been a historic year. You've lived it. I hope when you look back, you can do so proudly, knowing you made the most of a difficult situation. What you've learned this year will prepare you for years to come. But remember, it's your character that will always define who you are. So be sure you're striving to be the best person you can be, always. I say goodbye to you as your superintendent, knowing that our new superintendent, Mr. Seymour, along with all of your teachers, are already preparing to make next year the best ever. And that is a good thing. A very exciting thing as well. So, congratulations to all of you, and I hope you have a wonderful summer.
Thank you very much for that, Dr. Catania. Oh, and speaking of Dr. Catania, I had the opportunity to interview him, and as many of you know, he is retiring, and I wanted to get a little more insight on what has led him to be who he is today. Dr. Catania was born in Westchester County, New York, in Mount Vernon Hospital on August 27, 1962. He has two siblings, a brother and a sister who he is very close to. Dr. Catania is the youngest in his family and is guilty of fitting a lot of the stereotypes associated with being the youngest.
I got away with a lot of things. My parents were very strict with my older siblings and not with me.
As a typical kid, Dr. Catania changed what he wanted to be when he grew up on a regular basis.
I think at one point I wanted to be a doctor. I think I certainly wanted to be a professional basketball player at one point. A lawyer came into play there.
Dr. Catania, like many of us, had a hard time deciding what he wanted to do after high school. But a couple of things kind of pushed him towards being a teacher.
I was a senior in high school. I had an opportunity to tutor some younger kids. And it wasn't because I really went looking for it. It was because I had an open spot in my schedule. And so I was trying to find something to do because I had to take another class or find another thing to do. And I saw that it was on this list of things that counted. And I said, well, I'm pretty good at math. Maybe I can tutor somebody in math. So lo and behold, they assigned me a student in math. And I spent much of the year, however often, I don't remember how often it was, tutoring. And I remember thinking, wow, I really like this. When I was getting ready to go off to college, they asked you what you're going to major in and what your career plan is. And I remember thinking to myself, I don't have any idea, but I'm just going to write this down because I had to have an answer. And I wrote down history major, social studies teacher. And then I proceeded to forget about it. But a few years later, I looked back at it and thought, wow, I think I really do want to try that.
When Dr. Catania was 19 years old and in college, a huge curveball was thrown his way.
A situation happened when I was 19, and I had cancer. And so it was in the beginning of my second year of college, and I don't know how or why, but I had a tumor that had to be removed. And lo and behold, my whole life changed, and overnight, pretty much. It sort of stopped my life, and then it caused me to, try other things and reflect on them. And one of these things was, as it turns out, I got a chance to help out with the basketball team that I had once been a player on. It had sort of, caused me a lot of self-reflection, and I could tell you lots of stories about that. But essentially, that sort of helped me, I think, sort of pull some of these other strings that I've been mentioning, these experience tutoring, The enjoying working with young people as a coach, the liking history, the thought that maybe it would be neat to be a history teacher, and I ended up pulling all those pieces together.
Dr. Catania has coached various basketball teams throughout his career, which includes the Lake Placid Blue Bombers. After Dr. Catania had really discovered this love for teaching, he pursued it and went to multiple schools to achieve his dreams.
I went to Binghamton as an undergraduate, got my bachelor's degree in history. Then I got my first master's degree in teaching social studies at Manhattanville College. That's in Westchester County, near where I grew up. And I got my second master's degree at Oregon State University, and that was in counseling. So, and that was part of my shifting from being a social studies teacher to being a school counselor. And then I also received my doctorate at the University of Virginia. That was more recent. And then I have another, you call it a degree or a certificate. It's a certificate in advanced studies in school administration, and that's from Niagara University.
Dr. Catania's favorite sport is basketball, and he even dabbles a little bit in March Madness.
I have to say yes, and I'll be honest with you, I'm terrible with the picks.
As a young teacher, some of Dr. Catania's most favorite memories is of him and his students telling each other jokes and making each other laugh.
The jokes that my students and I would tell and make each other laugh. And that was just part of the connections that we built then that I mentioned before have really lasted, is that just we had these really wonderful relationships, and they would make me laugh and I would make them laugh. Once you get to know people well enough, and part of being a young teacher was getting to know my students really well, we were able to connect in those ways.
Dr. Catania's favorite day of the entire school year is the day before winter break.
And it's so there's a senior dinner that's really terrific. But we also have the panel of graduates. And I absolutely love having our graduates come back and talk with people. Yeah, me, of course, but talk with students.
In retirement, Dr. Catania plans to continue to spend time doing the things he loves to do. Dr. Catania is grateful and thankful for everyone.
This job that I'm doing, the superintendent job, is one that requires so much from other people, because every aspect of the school district runs, at some point I have some role to play in it. And so I rely heavily on the talents and the abilities of other people. That's part of it. But the other part of it is the trust, right? So in order for, parents to drop their kids off at school, they have to trust that their kids are going to be safe and that their kids are going to get what they need at a school. In order for employees to, come to work and commit themselves to working there, they have to trust that, what I say to them is really going to happen. So I would have to say that the thing that stands out for me is just how grateful I am that all of these people have contributed all their talents and all their trust to helping us together be successful. And I get to be a part of that. I get to be a part of that as superintendent. But even though I'm the superintendent, there's so many more people involved in everything that I do. So I'm just grateful to the support that everybody has provided to me personally, but also to our school district in general.
Dr. Catania, we are going to miss you so much. Thank you for all that you have done for our school district as a whole, and thank you for the commitment and support you have given all of us. Enjoy retirement. Congratulations to all of you. We have made it through yet another wonky year. And congratulations to the class of 2021. You are graduating. You have made it through your entire high school career. And best of luck, whatever your endeavor may be after high school. I want to thank you all very much for tuning in. Have a fantastic summer. I'll see you next year. But until then, stay safe, stay healthy, wash those hands, and most importantly, don't forget to smile. I'll see you next time where there'll be more on weather, sports, news, student life, you name it. Well, maybe it'll be on here. It's going to be great.
Let the good times roll. summertime, 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 summertime. See